So first of all, let me tell you a little about my experience. I've been building communities for the last 10 years, and one of the latest communities I was working with is Freelance Unlocked community of freelancers. And also I was working with 9 a.m. and code control companies, and I was focused mostly on freelancers. So back then, I was dealing with freelancer side. I was helping them how to grow their marketing, how to build their network, how to be more visible on LinkedIn. Why do you need to do that? How to start all those conversations? So basically, I was building a community for freelancers by freelancers so that we could do things better, so that we could grow together, exchange experiences. And anytime we had any questions, we always knew where to go, who to find, and whom to ask. And it's so much easier when you have this community. And I also, like some time ago, I was hosting podcasts called Freelance Drive and Freelance Talks, had over 90 conversations with really good freelancers. And there were two conversations. One was Freelance Drive about something they're really good at. For example, someone good at sales, they were sharing their sales part. Someone is good in marketing, they were sharing their marketing part. Someone is good is like in making network with amazing clients, they were sharing their networking part. And in Freelance Sucks, we were talking about the challenges. And I can tell you, out of this 90 freelancers, almost everyone has same challenges. It was admin work, it was finding clients, and it was like being lonely. Many freelancers who are working, especially if you are a knowledge worker, if you are working all the day in front of a computer, it's super lonely. But if you know right communities, for example, such as freelance business community, you definitely have a place where to go and where to keep this conversation with. And currently, I'm doing not one more podcast, which called the Independent Workforce. So now I work in from the other side of the market. So I'm still helping freelancers to find projects, but now I'm working more with companies that are searching for freelancers. I'm working with end clients. I'm educating them on why and how they can work with freelancers. And yeah, my current mission is to grow the international freelance market with freelancermap. And my main focus currently is Poland. So if you are any case in Poland, let's connect on LinkedIn, because it will be a lot of great meetups, even in person, very soon. If you know someone in Poland, put them my way. But also with my colleagues Stefania and Natalia, we are responsible for growing the international freelance markets. We are talking to staffing companies, to recruiting agencies. We are talking to end clients, and we are asking them, like, what are the challenges you are dealing with? Why are you not hiring, or why are you hiring freelancers? How can we help you with that? What are some blockers that prevent you from working with freelancers? And I can tell you they have a lot of things to share with us. And it's another slide. I will tell a little bit about what they tell us. But another slide, the final slide. So I also know that it's not hat, but it's boa constrictor digesting an elephant. And I love learning some languages on Duolingo. So if you are also a Duolingo fan, let's connect. Yeah, most likely you are sitting from your computers. If you have a phone, let's connect now, or find me on LinkedIn. Let's continue this conversation, definitely. So what I will share with you today. First of all, I talked a little bit about the company side, but I will come back to it. But I also focus on freelancer side, and I truly understand that all the challenges, all the blockers that companies had, they have it not because they are the bad ones, or we are the bad ones, or someone is bad one. They just have no idea how it works. And every time that you are working with a company, every time that you are working with a client, you are not talking about your personal brand. You are not just only working on your future work, but you are representing the whole freelance world. And we'll be talking about it a lot today. And also, I'll share with you from my experience what are some ways to make your personal brand stronger, and how to educate clients, how to set the standards for great collaboration in future. And everything that I will be talking about, it's purely my personal experience. And I'm open for conversations. If you are agree or disagree with something, share it in the comments. Let's keep it going. And yeah, as some freelancers, very well-known philosopher from very, very old age, told that every client interaction doesn't just define you, it defines us all. Because every time client hates you, they hate not just you, they hate every freelancer because they don't understand freelancers. They have no idea who these people are. And every time they are starting, if you are the first freelancer, most likely you are closing these doors of collaboration for this client forever, or at least for a long time. But if okay, so let's just move forward. I will share with you, like, I have like dozens of conversations with clients, with staffing companies who also talk to end clients who hire freelancers. And here's what they say about freelancers. They think that freelancers disappear, cannot communicate, they take all the projects, take all the money, fail to deliver. It's hard to work with them. They never join meetings. It's hard to understand what is the project, how's the project going, and what's moving forward. And the craziest part, one of the people even shared this feedback with me, and it's something I hear a lot, like, oh, the freelancers, they're just taking all the projects, they're taking all the money, and they're just dropping off, and they did nothing, performance was rubbish. So I really yeah, exactly, we need to boil, we need to boil just to ensure that we are moving in the right direction. But a lot of clients think about that because they didn't used to work with freelancers, with independent experts. It's so easier to hire a person, and if a full-time person does a shitty job, no one's talk about that. Yeah, someone did a shitty job, whatever, we'll fire them, we'll hire another person. But if freelancer does shitty job, it's not a person, it's like freelancers, it's overall freelancers. So no matter what is going on, freelancers are to blame. And it's totally good, like, if you don't know something, if you don't understand something, it's totally yeah, sorry. Okay, so it's totally okay, because if you don't understand something, you can blame it. And you don't know what you don't know. So yes, as Socrates say, you don't know what you don't know. And clients don't know what they don't know. If they had some shitty experience with one freelancer or with a few freelancers, they don't know how amazing freelancers are. And I can tell you, out of my experience of the past 3 years, working with freelancers, helping freelancers to find projects, and building the freelance market, like working for different companies who are creating this market, I met only amazing humans. I met very responsible humans who are very outgoing, who are easy to talk to, who are always over delivering. And I have no idea what those clients talking about. Still, somewhere out there, outside of our bubble, that's what they think. So, and I will tell you just a few personal stories. Like, I had two clients. So one of the clients came with me and told, hey, we want to build a community and we need to do everything. We need to do social media for our community. We need you to create posts. We need to engage in the comments. And just a little update. So social media management and community building, it's sometimes it's intersecting, but it's not the same. So practically, this person asked me to do the job of another freelancer, and I clearly told them, even though they gave good money, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should do this. But then I was like, no, it's not a good fit. I was super open with them. I told them, like, we are not going with there. Here is who you need. I helped them to create a job description, and they finally hired like really freelance social media manager who helped them to deal with their social medias. And then they came to me later when I kind of educated them a little bit on what their community building is, on how it really works. I kind of guided them on what person they needed. They came back to me later, and then we started working specifically for the community building. Second story, it's one of the biggest regrets that I heard from over 90 conversations at Freelance Sucks podcast, that when freelancers acted out of being desperate, they rarely liked their projects. So when you are in the moment, and sometimes those moments happen because freelancing is roller coaster, and sometimes you are on top of the world, and sometimes it's you are barely finding some projects and barely finding some money to deal with. It's totally another question, but the idea is, out of more than 90 conversation, I can tell you that only 2 people told them that they were okay with working on every project. So the worst projects were the ones they took out of the desperation. And I had a similar story. So once I was working with I was talking with a potential client, and they told me like, hey, we are want to work. So they didn't have a clear job description. So basically, if I were to work with them, I needed to come up with a job description. I needed to ideate how it works. I needed to be a consultant first, and only afterwards to do the jobs that I consulted them to do. So I was like, no, it doesn't work that way. It will take too much time, too low amount of payments. And I told them, sorry, I'm busy, but I know exactly the one person who you may work with. And I guided them to this person because this person was totally okay with doing this type of works. This person were like, hey, I'm totally good with educate clients from ground zero. I will take all the conversations, whatever they will pay me, I'm okay. So I paid it forward. And that's exactly how one of my friends got really, really good job. I mean, for them, not for me, but for them, it was a good. And I just kind of like passed on 2 projects, even though I could just start working on them, making some money. Not talking about if I were happy or not, but whatever, I could take some money. And you can see like, what's in it for me? What's in it for me out of the story? So I'm going currently to this thing that I call the ripple effect. And ripple effect is consists of 5 small steps. So first steps is give value first, then communicate clearly. I believe all of you can read, but then simplify collaboration, give back to the community, and educate clients. So it's something that I learned by heart while doing this, that if you are given value to people without even starting, before even starting working with them, if you always make things simple and very clear in the communication, if you are open to share your experiences, to share something that you've learned with the community, and if you are okay with educating clients instead of hating them, it creates this ripple effect that won't affect just you, but it will go much, much bigger than out of just one person. It will affect all the market. It will affect your friends, because if you refer someone to them, they get money. And also it will affect you in the back, because this person will remember that, okay, I know this amazing human, they referred me clients. So anytime they have good feed for you, they will refer you clients. So it also works for you. When you educate clients, when you help them to find a good job description, for example, to create a good job description, or when you educate them and help them to say like, hey, with your request, I'm not who you need. I'm not this type of expert, but your type of expert is XYZ. You also educating them. You also grow in this freelance market, because now they will go to the market and not try to find someone who will do job that it's not supposed to be done, and they will hate it for them, but they will find the right person to work with, and they will create a right job, and they will be very, very happy. So let me jump a little bit deeper into all these moments, all these steps. Talking about giving value first. I remember it was Thomas Marbella who I had a conversation with during the Freelance Drive podcast, and he told that I'm open to help clients even before they pay to me. So I'm okay with helping them with a little bit of adjusting some type of work here and there. So how does it work? Because when you are given value to people first, they start to trust you better. And sometimes I know I had a few conversations with people on the market, on the freelance market. I wanted to ask their experience of how the market grows and how it works. And there are 2 types of people. One type of people is always happy to help, always happy to support. like gives me a ton of materials, a ton of ideation. I was like, oh my god, my brain is just going, like my mind is just blowing with all the help they give me without asking me anything, even though they are consultants and they are usually charge money for that. And other people are like closing the doors and tell them, yeah, I'm an expert, I know everything, but I won't tell you anything before you pay me. My like hourly rate is like 250 euros per hour. If you pay me, I can maybe tell you something. And you can imagine who I can trust more. Someone who gives me a lot of value just upfront, even before asking me to work with them, or someone who is just being there and like creating, bringing all this value behind the doors. Of course, it's so much easier to work with this person. So when you help people right away, when you are not adding them extra homework, because when they start working with you, they need to have budget. When you are working with a corporate client, it's not usually the person who pays money hires you. Someone else is paying money. So the person who needs you, they need to go to someone and talk about this money. So if you are closing everything behind the doors, you are not helping them. You are bringing them extra homework, and they have no idea. Like they have no trial version, and it's so easy to be burned by this collaboration. But if you are open, if you are having this conversation, if you are helping them upfront, of course, I'm not telling you to work for free, but if you are helping them upfront, there is so much higher chance they will work with you. Secondly, there are people who call themselves generalists, and it's totally good. I know some amazing generalists who can do everything great, but there is also another side of the coin. Some people who know everything with small pieces, they also call themselves generalists. And if those people are applying for all the projects out there and they kind of oversell themselves and they are ready to do everything on the market, every project, they're up for this. But when they are going to this project, when they are starting doing this project, it happens that it's not such a good quality. So you have to be really, really honest and really, really upfront with the client and with yourself first, that what is in the job description, what is you hear from a client, is clearly fits you. If it fits you, if it fits them, you can work. If not, please just pass it, sell it, like pass it forward, give it to another person. In this case, once again, you will have some goodwill, client will have a good job done, you will be happy, everyone will be happy. And if you are working on a project, try to over deliver. Once again, it's something that makes you feel better personally, because it makes your client happy. And if it makes your client happy, it makes you recurring projects. If it makes you recurring projects, it makes you like more money, and everyone is happy. And also, many clients are very, very chaotic. They don't know what they need. They don't know whom they need to hire. And you can be the calm in their chaos. You are the person who is coming inside and telling them, hey, everything will be okay. I'm an expert. I know how to deal with it. But of course, if you are truly an expert, if you truly know how to deal with it. And every time, everything that you are doing when you're giving value first, try to leave every client better than you found them. Even if you are not working with them, try to help them just a little bit. So first of all, you can help them to get their job done faster. And also you will help your colleagues, other freelancers who will work with this client, to make things easier for them forward. Another one is clear communication. So we had already I had already 7 conversations at the Independent Workforce podcast with hiring companies, with end clients, and they tell that number one blocker for clients to work with freelancers is not clear communication. If you are a freelancer, you are running a freelance business. If you are running a freelance business, understand that you need to be really good in what you are doing. And you need to, first of all, you need to have an excellent communication. What does it mean? So first of all, set right expectations. Don't tell clients that you can do everything if you can't. Be very honest and very open with them and tell them, hey, I can do this, this, and this. For this, this, and this, we need this, this, and this. If you are making it very easy and understandable for that, maybe they won't hire you. Maybe. At least you will save your nerves, you will save nerves to your client, and you will save a lot of time and money for both sides, and even for other freelancers who might work with this person further. When you are already starting the conversation, when you are already working together, always prepare shared timelines and next steps. So when I'm working with a client, I'm always creating like the Notion strategy document where I like, hey, here is like 6 months strategy, here is like 1 month strategy, here is weekly strategy, here is what I will do daily. Of course, it's not set in stone, it will be updated. But when you are starting from the beginning, telling clients how you work, what you do, how you do it, it's so much easier. And it will be, first of all, it will be right expectation from client side, and secondly, if they are disagreeing with you at any point, you can just talk to them right away, and you can find the problem immediately, even before it happened. So you can, just by creating the strategy, you can do it even before yes, exactly, Claudine. Notion is very, very good for client management, and it's very, very good to share it with them. Even on the free Notion version, you can just create everything you want and share it with your client and invite them and collaborate with them in this tool. So, and the third one, be honest. And there is a CSS, yeah, call sheet. So when you see that something is not working, don't wait for that it won't happen with you, or don't wait that maybe client won't notice it or whatever. So that's the beauty of freelancing. When you are a freelancer, you can be very, very honest with the client, and you can tell them almost everything. I mean, like, in a good way. Sometimes you can say even in a bad way, but you are not helping anyone. But if you are talking in a good way, if you are like very really want to help a client, and if you are calling shit, if something doesn't work, or you see that your collaboration is moving not in the right direction, if you can communicate it with the client, if you can have this conversation, once again, it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of nerves, and it makes your collaboration so much better. And honest communication brings you long-term contracts, because the more honest, the more open, the easier you make it for clients to work with you, the more they want to work with you. It's easy. So second one is to the simplify and collaboration. So I was talking a lot about making things easy, but you have to make things easy from all the sides. Don't give your clients homework of creating agreements, invoices. Like, I'm an expert, I'm just doing here what I've called here to be doing, and I'm not doing anything else. But your clients, they also need to do all this shit, and they also hate it. Trust me, they hate doing agreements, they hate dealing with invoices, they hate finding the tools on how to deal, and sometimes they just don't know everything. So if you are getting ready, and it's not that hard, the worst case scenario, you can go to ChatGPT and create these agreements. The best case scenario, you can go to freelance business community, ask questions, ask other freelancers to share with you their templates and all the stuff, the tools that they're using. I believe that they will help you. So when you are ready with all the paperwork, when you know the right tools, the third thing is like, just kiss your clients. I mean, not figuratively, but keep it simple, smarty pants. And the simpler you make it for client to feel how it works with you, the happier they will be. When I work with freelancers, so for example, when I need to create I needed to create some logos some long time ago. And it was not just a logo, it was like the whole branding part for one of the communities I was working with. And I came to one freelancer who is doing like rather good branding stuff. And I started working with them. I started talking to them, and they gave me such huge homework. They gave me like the questionnaire with like 30 questions, and I had to answer all those questions. And then I just met another freelancer. We jumped on a call. We had like up to 1 hour conversation. They asked me all the questions, and then basically the next day they came with me with some prototypes of how this branding might look like. You can clearly understand whom I continued working with. Exactly with this person who made it easy for me to work with them. So if you are making it easy for clients to work with you, they'll be happy to work with you. So the next step is given back to the community, specifically to the freelance community. If you are learning something, share it with others. First of all, you will learn better yourself. When you learn yourself by sharing things, you also you help other freelancers to become better. If you help other freelancers to become better, they are growing the freelance market. So it's like the ripple effect. You start something, and then it just amplifies. So once again, have this habit. If you know an answer to the question, if you're in the community, if you see the question, if you know an answer, just go write something, just go tell it. And don't think that it might be very stupid, something shitty, everyone knows it. No, I can tell you, your 80% is someone's 120%. You never know. Different people are on the different journeys, and you never know on what journey is the person who is asking a question. The worst case scenario, they will tell you, oh, thank you, I know that. Like, it won't hurt. But the best case scenario, you can save them weeks or months of finding an answer. And once again, you can be in their shoes. You can ask a question. You need help sometimes. And when you giving back to the community, when you sharing your experience, when you are helping others, there is a huge probability that others will help you. And yes, 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 answer newcomers. There are a lot of people who are starting freelancing and they don't even know how to Google. Okay, they know how to chat GPT, but they don't know how to Google. But still, the best way to ask questions is go and ask it in the community. So please help newcomers. You will be very, very surprised that at some point, these newcomers will become a really, really great freelancers. And you may be even surprised that at some point, they will bring you a lot of referrals, a lot of other clients. So I have 3 more minutes, and I will be super fast because I still have a shit ton to share with you. To make it easy to give back to the community, first of all, you are already here on this platform, so join Freelance Business Community. If you will share it with your friend, invite them here. There are really great freelancers here, and they are really, really open to share information. Then there is amazing Future is Freelance Forum hosted by Sarah Duran. And I know that also she hosted the Future is Freelance Forum yesterday here within the Freelance Business Month. And of course, join Freelance Unlocked conference. It's something that I'm working with my teammates on creating this space. Yes, it's in Berlin, but we are like growing it to other countries. It's an in-person meetup where you can come meet your people who you know online, meet them in real life, and have amazing conversations together. And remember to educate your clients. No matter that you might have heard somewhere that client is always right. No, client is not always right, and it's okay. When you are a freelancer, you can help them. You can educate them. They don't know everything. You know a lot because you are working with different clients. You are doing this several times, and you definitely have much more experience than they are, because the best case scenario, they are working with several friends. The worst case scenario, they are working with you just first time, and you can guide them. Don't hate clients. Guide them. Ask them questions. If you are disagreeing with something, don't tell them, no, I disagree. I won't do it that way. Ask them question. Why do you think that way? What do you think the best way, how it can work? Be curious. There is this term called empathetic listening. Listen to them. Ask them extra questions and be open to it's like talking to a kid. When you will scream at the kid, there is a low chance that this kid will learn. But if you help them, if you guide them, if you ask them questions, most likely they will learn, hopefully. And there are 2 great podcasts. One of them I'm listening to myself, one of them I'm hosting. So first of all is Human Cloud by Matt Mottola. So he talks with a lot of experts in freelancing, a lot of experts who are hiring freelancing and with staffing companies, of how clients work with freelancers. So you can listen, and it will give you a lot of ideas on how to educate your clients. And it's also something that I'm trying to do with the Independent Workforce podcast. I also invite companies, staffing companies, and clients who are already working with freelancers. I'm asking them to share their experiences, to share their challenges, to share the benefits, to share everything they have on how it works with freelancers. So to get more projects, just remember, to get more projects, we need more educated clients. So every time that you see that a client is not right, every time that you want to hate them, just ask them questions and guide them. It will help everyone, once again. So TLDR, super fast. To get more projects, we need more educated clients. Your competitors, your freelancers that you are dealing with, that you meet, they are your strongest ally. Give back to the community and it will support you. Make it super easy with client to work with you and ensure that you are honest with your clients because it will bring you long-term contracts. And remember to leave every client just a little better than you found them. If few actionable steps, of course we need actionable steps. First of all, if you are not here still in this community, join freelance business community, join futures freelance forum, and join freelance online conference. There are 3 places I know, most likely I don't know about everything. There are 3 places I know that will really help you to make the freelance market better. Listen to the Independent Workforce and Human Cloud podcasts, and remember that every interaction with a client defines how the freelance market grows. And no worries, you can do it, just one small step in a day, and be consistent, because consistency always beats motivation. And if we are being just a little bit by little, a little by little, just a little bit better, we'll see very, very soon how the freelance market is growing better. And yes, Oli, right to your point, Elena is a great human community driver. And kudos to Elena for creating this community and for creating freelance business months. And yeah, anything above zero compounds. So the smallest steps that you are taking today will define your future, and not just your future, but future of many, many of your colleagues. And remember to stay positive. That's the superpower of freelancers, because when the shit storm is coming, only thing that you can be is just stay positive and just be yourself. And yeah, I already told you about some useful material, so nothing else to add there. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. I don't know if we have time for questions, but I totally know that we have this chat, and I will share the link here to the session. So you are definitely in this community. Let's continue the conversation. Let's connect on LinkedIn. I believe that with many of you, we are already connected. If not, I'm just one and only Yurii Lazaruk you can find on LinkedIn. Please send me a connection request. Let's continue the conversation everywhere. We can continue. It's here. We can continue on LinkedIn. And yeah, let's just make the freelance market better.